Hi, we're going to set up a very simple After Effects workflow for importing 5K resolution time-lapse sequences and rendering them out as QuickTime movies. It's a very simple process and we're going to just focus on the workflow. We're not going to spend too long on image processing itself. That would be a different tutorial. Okay, so here goes. We begin at the beginning. Open After Effects. Ignore the opening window because we're starting a new project. This is your project window, this is a footage window, and this is the timeline window. Those are the basics you need to know. We go to the project window and double click to open the import file menu. From here we go and select the file we want to render out. So I'm going to select, let's see, I'm going to select Day 2 Bangkok Hero Sunrise. So as you can see, there's a whole string of images in there which I shot over a few hours. I would select the first file in the sequence and make sure the camera raw sequence is turned on down here. So make it turned on and I say force alphabetical order so that the file retains the name of the shot that you assigned. And I hit open. When I hit open, what will open is the Adobe RAW interface window, which allows you to process the image. So in here, as you can see, I've already done a bunch of processing. There's all kinds of controls here. You can fiddle with exposure, contrast, highlights, shadows, all kinds of things. But that's the subject of a different tutorial. But you need to spend a bit of time here so that you get the image sequence the way you want it. I've already done that, so I'm not going to stay with it too long. I will hit OK. So you can see in your project window, the file is shown up now as a sequence, and you can see it's a 5616 by 3744 image sequence, which is huge. We're going to step this down to HD. So we select the file, select the sequence, pull it down to the composition window, the third button from the left here, and it'll open a composition, which is a really large window. Like you saw, it's a 5616 by 3744 window, which is enormous. It's also full frame, so you can see it's a little different format from regular HD. Now what we're going to do is click in the timeline window, go to composition and go to composition settings. Here from this preset, I'm going to select HD. So HD, 25 frames a second, and I'm going to hit OK. Now, as you can see, the image seems really seriously zoomed up. And that's because the original image is still at 5K, but your composition window is much smaller with the HD window. So what we're going to do is size the image down so that it fits in the window. So I select the sequence, right click, go up to transform and say fit to comp width. And now the image has been sized down to fit the image, to fit the comp window. Once we're here, I'll just fiddle a little bit with the composition. You can move it up or down once it's scaled down. There's all kinds of things you can do here. You can scale it up, down, move it, rotate it. But again, subjects for a different tutorial. Right now, we're just going to concentrate on rendering this image out. So here's my image. It's in an HD window. It's all the values of exposure, etc. have been assigned, and we're going to render out this file. So I click in the timeline window again, go to composition and say add to render queue. Once I go to render queue, we've got a bunch of settings here. Render settings I will leave at best settings. the lossless setting, I'm going to select Apple ProRes 1920, which is a nice, really color-rich sort of format, or H.264 if you want to use it, to upload on the web and stuff. For the purpose of this, I'm just going to select Apple ProRes 1920. Mind you, these are presets that I have set up. I will show you how to do those in a different tutorial. But for now, you could select anything from here. It should work for you. You can make sense of the titles. But anyway, Apple ProRes 1920, and we're good to go. All I have to do is hit render.